Good morning. The time has finally come for me and Mr. B to go on our summer holidays. It feels like it's been a long time coming. Now, every single YouTuber I've seen based in the UK has already started on their autumn content, and I'm sure that's because the weather is awful, but it feels very strange to me because autumn doesn't officially start until the 22nd of September, and it's still 30 degrees here, so I'm definitely not ready for the change of season just yet. We're going on a little road trip to my favourite place in the whole of Italy, if not the whole world, a place called Varenna on Lake Como. Now, Mr. V hasn't been there before, so I'm really excited to show him round. And then he's picked a place to go for the latter half of the holiday, so I look forward to sharing the details of that with you a bit later. But now I'm going to go and pick Mr. V up from the bar, we're going to get on the road, and I cannot wait to show you just how beautiful Varenna is. We're just about coming up to the halfway point of our journey now, so I think we're going to look out for somewhere to stop for a little bit of lunch, and then I think we'll get back on the road as soon as possible because we want to try and avoid the rush hour traffic around Milan and Bologna. Italian service stations are not comparable with UK ones by any means, in that the food is usually a very high standard. If I haven't mentioned pocket coffee before, they are the best chocolates in the world if you're a coffee lover. In the colder months, they're a cube of dark chocolate filled with a shot of liquid espresso, and in the summer months, they're this combination of chocolate and coffee that you drink with a straw. I'm not really a bread person, but this was hands down one of the best sandwiches I've had in my life, plus the sweet snacks we chose were 10 out of 10 as well. It's around 6.5 hours from us to Lago di Como, and so we're just over halfway through. We're starting to enter Berlusconi territory. I think this is his media empire just outside of Milan. Finally, we can see my beautiful Varenna in the distance. We haven't even unpacked yet, but we're going to head straight out and have a little wander of the local area and maybe see if there's somewhere we could eat tonight, just so that we don't have to drive anywhere because Mr. V's already had a really long journey. We decided to base ourselves in Perledo, which is just outside of Varenna at the top of the hill, mainly because we booked too late to find any accommodation in Varenna itself, but we actually found it to be a great base. It has a little bar for breakfast and for buying bus tickets, a supermarket, a little restaurant which we've booked for this evening, and it has beautiful views out over the lake. It's a 3.5-minute bus journey into the centre of Varenna, where obviously we couldn't help but try out some of the local delicacies and then stopped for an aperitivo in one of my favourite bars. Then it was back home for a shower and change. I finally got to wear the limoncello bag that Mr. V bought me for Valentine's Day, and we headed to the little bistro we picked out earlier. It was a simple dinner of braised meat with polenta and potatoes and a homemade brownie to finish. Right, we've just got back to the apartment and I've made myself a cup of tea and we're just going to have a nice early night. I have to say the little bistro we found was really unfussy and really lovely, kind staff, so I would definitely recommend. It was pretty reasonably priced as well, as you probably saw from the menu. I'm not sure how well you can see, but we've woken up to some very interesting weather, but luckily it's not due to last. So Mr. V has popped to the bar to get us some cornetti, and we're just going to have a cosy couple of hours at home until the weather clears up. And this one, Villa Monastero, is hopefully where we're going today. While we waited for the clouds to clear, we cozied up in this little bistro called La Scarpetta, where we shared a platter of meats and cheeses and then a plate of pasta each. When we left, we were treated to beautiful blue skies, so we decided to book a private boat tour to see some of the beautiful towns around the lake from the water. This is Villa Monastero, which we'll be visiting a little bit later on today. We also saw Bellagio from the water, which was a real treat, and of course the famous Grand Hotel Tremezzo. Then it was back to my beloved Varenna, which was looking spectacular under the sunshine. As you can see, we've got wonderful sunshine now, so we're going to have a wander around Villa Monastero, which is one of my favourite places on earth, and I think you'll understand why when you see it. Villa Monastero is a stunning historic villa, surrounded by lush botanical gardens and breathtaking views. Once a monastery, it now serves as a museum and conference centre, blending centuries of history with timeless Italian elegance. The garden itself stretches for nearly 2 kilometres along the lakefront, from Varenna to the nearby hamlet of Fiumelatte. The garden holds over 900 botanical specimens from all over the world, as well as many different types of hydrangea, roses, wisteria, jasmine and oleanders. There's currently a Ken Scott exhibition inside the house where you can see around 30 garments featuring floral motifs chosen to resonate with the plant life and essences in the villa's botanical garden. You can also view several sketchbooks with Ken Scott's original drawings and sketches. It's understandably a very popular destination for weddings, and we saw 3 just in our time here. Our ticket included a visit to Villa Cipressi just next door, and whilst it's not as breathtakingly beautiful as Villa Monastero, it is home to these famous gates which open out onto the beautiful blue lake with these stunning mountains as the backdrop. Then it was back to Varenna for a walk around the main square, and I discovered my new favourite ice cream flavour, ricotta and caramelised fig. Absolutely outstanding. Then we had a little stroll along what's called the Lovers' Walkway, and then it was time to go home, shower and change for dinner. We'd booked quite a fancy restaurant for the evening, so I went all out with my dress. The bread basket already convinced me that this was going to be a good meal, and it didn't disappoint. We started with some ravioli filled with shrimp, and then I stuck with fish and went for my classic frittura di pesce while Mr. V defected to meat. Dessert was an absolutely exquisite take on a tiramisu and a not quite so outstanding but still very nice baba. I absolutely love watching darkness fall and all of the twinkling lights start to come on. I think that Varenna is just one of those places that's absolutely beautiful at any time of day or night. Good morning, we're halfway through our trip now, and today we are going somewhere very special for lunch, so I think we're going to head to the town where the restaurant is and have a look around one of the villas there, and maybe make a little trip to Bellagio as well, so let's get going. I've just run back to the apartment to get myself a thick jumper because these mornings are extremely chilly. That's better, let's try again.
Ragazzi, Bellagio, primo viaggio, state connessi perché sarà bellissimo.
We've arrived in Bellagio and Mr. V has chosen the place for breakfast and I'm not happy with it at all. It looks like a typical tourist trap. It even serves a full English breakfast. Total disaster. Perché hai scelto questo posto?
Perché qui il cappuccino sarà una bomba. Fidatevi di me.
Mr. V says he picked this place because he could tell the cappuccino was going to be good, but just look how much of it he left. Bellagio is often referred to as the Pearl of the Lake, and you can see why. It's got these gorgeous cobbled streets and it just oozes charm. It's very popular for romantic getaways, but I have to say there is less to do here than in Varenna and some of the other towns on the lake, so I wouldn't necessarily base yourself here. We're back on the boat heading towards Tremezzo, which is where we're having lunch. We don't have time, unfortunately, to stop at Villa Carlotta, but I have been before and I definitely recommend it. The Grand Hotel Tremezzo is an historic 5-star hotel known for its Art Nouveau elegance and breathtaking views across to Bellagio. Opened in 1910, it offers luxurious suites, a floating pool on the lake, and lush botanical gardens. The hotel blends timeless charm with modern comfort, making it one of the most iconic stays in Italy. However, this is definitely reflected in the eye-watering prices for rooms, so if you can, I would definitely book yourself in for lunch here. Unfortunately, when I changed my reservation, I rebooked for the wrong part of the hotel. I was hoping to have a wood-fired pizza by the pool, but I accidentally rebooked for the terrace, so we ate there instead, but we did manage to have a drink by the pool. Lunch on the terrace was perfectly nice, but I would definitely recommend booking for the pizza place by the pool because there's a road just underneath this terrace and it does get quite busy, which ruins the atmosphere a little bit. The bread and oil were absolutely delicious, and then we both had a pasta dish to start with. Mine I wouldn't recommend at all, unfortunately. It was very overly salted, and that's coming from someone who likes their food very well seasoned. And then we both chose the filetto rossini for our main course, which was nice, but I would say overall this meal was not worth what we paid for it. I didn't want to risk a disappointing dessert here, so we headed back to Varenna and returned to the ice cream place that we went to yesterday, of course for the ricotta and caramelised fig. Right, we're just heading into town for dinner now, but Mr. V wants to tell you something.
Non credete a nulla di quello che sta dicendo, perché oggi pomeriggio mi faceva male la testa e dicevo, ma perché? Perché? E questo è il risultato. Tutto rosso, rotto.
So he's saying that he was complaining with a headache
rotto,
all day.
Non credete a lei.
And I didn't tell him that he was clearly burning up and that his forehead was bright red, like a lobster. But anyway, I don't think it's related. After our heavy lunch, we wanted something a little lighter for supper, so we had a couple of mocktails by the lake and a piadina, which is like a filled wrap. There also happened to be a Queen tribute band playing in the main piazza, which was filling up fast, so we spent the rest of the evening there. We're just having our breakfast now, and then we're going to head into town to pick up some souvenirs before getting on the next part of our journey. On our final morning in Varenna, we found the church open for the first time, and we really enjoyed having a wander around this gorgeous building. Then we headed to the 200 steps, which promises a very romantic view at the end, and I remember from my last visit being really impressed. And yes, there was another wedding. Right, we are back on the road now and we're heading to our second destination, which is the part of the holiday that Mr. V has chosen. Neither of us have ever been there before, so I can't wait to show you what it's like, and hopefully it will be just as good as the first 3 days of the holiday because we had the best time in Lake Como. There is far too much holiday footage to fit into just one vlog, so I'm going to leave it here and bring part 2 to you very soon. Take care.